Morning. January 6th, 2025. Okay. And as we wait for some viewers on the live, we are working with A Course in Miracles, going through the workbook and also the text, following the instructions of the workbook, one lesson per day. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves and do more than one lesson per day. Although it says in the instructions that if I find a lesson in the workbook that's really appealing to me and I'm getting a lot of, I'm generating some interest in that lesson, I can stay with that lesson for more than one day. So it does work that way also. And then we are also doing one section of the text per day. So we will be on chapter 1, section 6 today, which is called The Illusion of Needs. The Illusion of Needs. Okay, so we're basically the Course in Miracles, the workbook and the text. The workbook provides an actual system. Wait, what is here? Foster, Mama is here, and Cadillagaff is here. Thanks for joining me, guys. Thanks for hanging out. If you get a chance, tap the screen. I'm trying to get those likes up on the screen, the hearts up by my name. If you have a chance, tap the screen. You can hang around for a second. Tap the screen. Let's see. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. That lady, 99, is here. Wait, what is here? And Christine is here. Thanks for joining this live about A Course in Miracles. Also, as we move along, if you are a student of Course in Miracles, let us know. Put it in the comments. If you have never read A Course in Miracles or haven't encountered it before, you probably have heard of it because of Marianne Williamson and her book, A Call for Love, which was her interpretation of A Course in Miracles, what she gathered from it, what she gleaned from it. And of course, she has a lot of material on YouTube about A Course in Miracles. So you can also learn more about it by searching Marianne Williamson on YouTube and looking up her Course in Miracles material. So today, lesson 6. So we've gone through 5 lessons so far, and the beginning lessons in A Course in Miracles, what we are trying to undo, as it says in the workbook lessons, is we're trying to undo the thought structure that we have in our mind currently. Hi, Jeff. Hi, Newberry Dental. What's up? And Shawl Israel 3 joined. Thanks for hanging out, you guys. This is lesson 6 of Course in Miracles. So the first 5 lessons, what have we done? We're trying to break down the way we currently think. Our thoughts create the world that we perceive. That is one of the first ideas that is presented in A Course in Miracles, that the world does not cause me to think a certain way, but that my thoughts and beliefs produce a world outside of me, produce perception. It's the perception within me that I then project on the world outside of me. And it really goes from the inside out. It does not go from the outside in. So this is called a thought reversal. So we're working with the first 50 lessons in A Course in Miracles on thought reversal. So the first lesson, we want to start contemplating these ideas and working with these ideas throughout the day. It starts out very simply think about these ideas, it suggests a couple times during the day. Once in the morning, spend a minute or two with this idea, and once in the evening, spend a minute or two with this idea. We started out with the idea that nothing I see in this room means anything. Then we said the next day that I have given everything I see in this room all the meaning that it has for me. Third day, we said I do not understand anything I see in this room. So nothing I see in this room means anything. Kind of a interesting idea to think about. Nothing I see in this room means anything. I have given everything I see in this room all the meaning that it has to me. I don't understand what I see in this room. In lesson 4, 2 days ago, we start to approach the thoughts and the idea that we can think about. Why do these things that I see in this room, why do they not mean anything? Day 4, lesson 4 began to explain that. These thoughts do not mean anything. The thoughts I am holding about the things in the room are really what does not mean anything. The relationships I have, the things I think about the relationships, my relationship with the world, are based on my thoughts. So these thoughts do not mean anything. Then yesterday we began to enter into the distinction of the different kinds of thoughts I think I have. I think I have some good thoughts and I think I have some bad thoughts. And yesterday in lesson 5, the instruction was given that your thoughts, my thoughts are all the same. I don't really have good thoughts and bad thoughts. It turns out, are thoughts that are being generated by a quote unquote foreign entity, a foreign entity that will be introduced later in the text as the ego mind or the ego thought system. And so I have come up with a thought system on my own. I have, over time and for all time, because it is a function of time, I have created a mind that thinks it is separate from God. And so I am generating thoughts, or this entity, this ego mind, identified as the small self or the little I. That little I is generating thoughts, and those thoughts don't mean anything. Why don't they mean anything? Because they're thoughts of separation. They're thoughts of condemnation. They're thoughts of judgment. They're thoughts of hate. They are all thoughts that are not thoughts of love. And so the Course in Miracles is trying to lead us to the place where we first realize that the thoughts we're thinking are not loving thoughts. So as you become aware of the thoughts that are passing through your mind, and so this is just a deepening of a spiritual practice. Why do I think the way I think? Why am I getting so upset by the traffic? Why am I so upset by what just happened at the grocery store? Why am I in a bad mood? All of that gets traced back, of course, to my thinking, to my thoughts. Everybody tap on that screen. Let's get some more likes for this live. Please help me out. I appreciate it. And if you want to continue to stay updated about these lives, which happen every day at 11 a.m. Central Time, follow me, hit that follow button. I would appreciate it. Thank you. So today, lesson 6, we are thinking about the idea. Lesson 6 says, I am upset because I see something that is not there. That was just the idea that we sort of spontaneously encountered while we were discussing previous lessons. The idea is, I am upset by nothing. I cannot be upset by reality. I instead am overjoyed because of reality. I embrace reality because reality is what God created. Reality is the thought of God. And that thought, that reality, is perfect, whole, and complete. There is nothing lacking in the thought of God. So if I am encountering negative feelings, but also if I am encountering feelings that vary, I may be happy one minute and then I may be really exuberant the next minute, and then I may not be happy at all. All of those thoughts and feelings vary, and in that variation, the Course will tell me that I am not really experiencing reality. In reality, there is no change. In reality, I am always happy. I am always joyful. I am always at peace. So lesson 6 says, I am upset because I see something that is not there. And very quickly, the exercises with this idea are very similar to the preceding ones. Again, it is necessary to name both the form of upset. So anger, fear, worry, depression, doubt, and so on. And the perceived source very specifically for any application of the idea. These first few exercises, the first 50 exercises, I'm identifying specific things in my thought system, specific people, specific situations that are causing me upset, that make me angry, fearful, that I worry about. So I am angry at blank because I see something that isn't there. I am angry at gas prices because I see something that isn't there. I am worried about blank because I see something that isn't there. I'm worried about paying my mortgage because I see something that isn't there. Today's idea, it says, is useful for application to anything that seems to upset you and can profitably be used throughout the day for that purpose. 3 or 4 practice periods should be preceded by a minute or so of mind searching. So first, before I apply the idea, I just want to watch my thoughts for a minute, meditate, come to a meditative state wherever I am, and see what the content of my thoughts are this morning, this afternoon, this evening. What thoughts are passing through my consciousness? And then I'm going to apply the idea. I am upset by that thought because I see something that isn't there. It says, if you resist applying the idea to some upsetting thoughts more than to others, remind yourself of the 2 cautions stated in the previous lesson. There are no small upsets. They are all equally disturbing to my peace of mind. Or I cannot keep this form of upset and let the others go. For the purposes of these exercises, then, I will regard them as all the same. In other words, if I'm upset by something or someone, it is important to treat it just like everything else that upsets me, worries me, causes doubt, and that's going to touch upon the idea of forgiveness. Well, I tell myself, I can't forgive that. That was too much, right? I'm not going to forgive that person. I'm not going to forgive that situation. I'm not going to let it go. And the Course cautions here in the 5th and 6th lesson to not believe the idea that some situations are different from others. My relationship with some people is different from others. Now, that might be a tough pill to swallow. And of course, earlier in the preface to the workbook, the introduction to the workbook, it reminded us that, yeah, some of these ideas you may not want to accept. Some of these ideas you may even actively resist. It says that doesn't matter. If you're really interested in changing your mind, changing your perception, and changing your experience, just apply the idea. The idea will do the work. So just follow the instructions of the workbook, and those instructions will take care of it. Okay, so we'll go to the text now very quickly, maybe another 5 or 10 minutes, and discuss very quickly the text for today, which is from chapter 1, text for today's, which is from chapter 1, section 6, January 6th, section 6. It's entitled The Illusion of Needs. The first chapter in A Course in Miracles is entitled The Meaning of Miracles. And the section 6 is entitled The Illusion of Needs. And if you're just into reading headlines, that's a great headline right there. The illusion of needs. And what will be discussed in this section of the book is that the idea that I need something, the idea that it calls it the scarcity principle in the text, the idea that I don't have something that I need is a false idea. It is an illusion. It's part of the dream that's being created. Okay? If you are sitting here in this room, Real Biz, B Money, Jarrett, what's up, Michael Bartolin? Hey, you guys, if you're in the room and sitting here, tap the screen for me. Give me a few more likes. Let's see if we can get up to 100 likes. I would appreciate it. So if you get a chance, you can participate in that way, and it will help with the algorithm. Thank you so much. Whoever just hit that screen, I appreciate it. So let's see what it says about the illusion of needs very quickly here. You who want peace can find it only by complete forgiveness. Thanks for the likes, guys. I appreciate it. You who want peace can find it only by complete forgiveness, not partial forgiveness. And again, that idea was just addressed in the workbook. Don't think you can choose where forgiveness needs to be applied. Part of the curriculum, part of the learning of A Course in Miracles is that understanding the idea that it all can be forgiven, that it is all already forgiven, and that through practice I can learn to have a forgiving attitude about everyone and everything. No learning is acquired by anyone unless he wants to learn it and believes in some way that he needs it. While lack does not exist in the creation of God, it is very apparent in what you have made. It is, in fact, the essential difference between them. Lack implies that you would be better off in a state somehow different from the one you are in. That's a great sentence right there. Lack implies the scarcity principle, the scarcity mindset implies that you would be better off in a state somehow different from the one you are in. until the quote-unquote separation, it says, which is the meaning of the quote-unquote fall, nothing was lacking. There were no needs at all. Okay, so that sort of conjures up in myself, maybe you too, the idea of a Garden of Eden, Garden of Eden state before the fall, where nothing was lacking, everything was provided. And what we will begin to understand with A Course in Miracles is that Garden of Eden state is a state of consciousness. It's not necessarily a place, although it can become a place, or it may have been a place, but the metaphor of it is pointing to the idea of a state of mind, a Garden of Eden state where I feel and I realize and I think that all my needs are met. I don't have any needs. I am lacking nothing. Needs arise only when you deprive yourself. You act according to the particular order of needs you establish. This, in turn, depends on your perception of what you are. So I act according to my self-identity. Do I identify myself as this body? Do I identify myself as a job or a career? Do I identify myself as a parent, a grandparent? Do I identify myself as a white male? What do I identify myself? If I identify myself as the body, then I will experience the constraints and the restrictions and sort of the formula that belongs to that body. Or do I identify myself as a spiritual being, perfect, whole, complete, lacking nothing? And then what is my behavior? What behavior arises out of that conception of myself? Capital S. It goes on here to say in the text, section 6, a sense of separation from God is the only lack you really need correct. A sense of separation from God is the only lack you really need correct. This sense of separation would never have arisen if you had not distorted your perception of truth and thus perceived yourself as lacking. The idea of orders of need, which follows from the original error that one can be separated from God, requires correction. Okay, so I'm sort of skipping over this part of the text. This gets pretty dense. The Course in Miracles is a very dense text. I've been reading it for 25 years. Every time I read it, 25 plus years, every time I read it, there is more information there to be gleaned. There is a deeper vibration to encounter in it. There's a different relationship to it every time I read it. I want to get to these, to finish up these two ideas at the bottom of the text here. It says all aspects of fear are untrue. So the idea of scarcity, the idea of lack, the idea of separation from God produces fear. That is the fear state. All aspects of fear are untrue because they do not exist at the creative level. Therefore, they do not exist at all. The creative level is the same as saying the mind of God. To whatever extent you are willing to submit your beliefs to this test, to that extent are your perceptions corrected. In sorting out the false from the true, the miracle proceeds along these lines. And then these are the sentences that sum up this section. Very important ideas to consider. Number one, perfect love casts out fear. If fear exists, then there is not perfect love. But only perfect love exists. If there is fear, it produces a state that does not exist. Believe this and you will be free. Only God can establish this solution, and this faith is his gift. Once again, perfect love casts out fear. If fear exists, then there is not perfect love. It can only be one or the other, perfect love or fear. But it says, and here the thought reversal, this is where the thought reversal comes in, but only perfect love exists. Therefore, if there is fear, it produces a state that does not exist. So if there is fear, it produces an illusion of needs, which is the headline, the title of this section for today. So thank you again. Peace and blessings. Thanks for stopping by and joining in this live, going over A Course in Miracles every day at 11 a.m. Central Time. If you miss the live, I take these live downloads and transmissions. I put them on a YouTube channel, and you can go to my profile, like and follow the profile, and there's also there the YouTube account, which is SVC, Sierra Victor Charlie 2011. So that is the YouTube name. And I'll have to work on getting all those social media platforms synced up so there's one name, easier to find. But thanks for joining today. Peace and blessings. Have a great day. And we'll see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. on A Course in Miracles Live. Thanks. Take care. Have a great day.